Dzień dobry, YouTube. Witamy to another episode of Atticus Eats. And before you ask, no, I am not currently driving in Australia. I did, however, want to try something new, which is kind of dumb that it took this long to get to this point to realize, hey, I can do this. But because I thought of it at all, it's not dumb. And if this works, then it's not dumb. But my dear friends, I'm gonna be joining you today from my passenger seat. And so we're switching it up a bit. I realized, hey, wait a minute, this steering wheel blocks your view of the footage. And so we're gonna go ahead and I wanna see what this is like. I want you guys to tell me what you think, because now we have full view of my Hobbit self, and hopefully that is pleasurable and enjoyable for you all. We are totally autumned out, even though it's 83 degrees outside right now. I don't care, I'm being stubborn, and I am wearing the flannel. And my dear friends, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my Twitch stream viewers. He's also a viewer, obviously, here on the YouTubes. His name is Alex Josie. Alex, thank you so much for the inspiration for today's video. I am doing this for you and all of you awesome people who have suggested this, but he was the one that really has gone home and gone to bat with this. We have returned to Chick-Fil-A today to try some of their seasonal items, / new releases, limited time, that sort of deal. We've been doing that a lot with like McDonald's and Wendy's and the other places. And so it's like, you know what? It's time to give Chick-fil-A some love. I'm happy to be able to do so. Hairstyle. Sure, we'll go with that. And yeah, so we're here now. It's lunchtime. I am so thrilled to be here with you guys. And hopefully this is going to be a good new version of format that we can enjoy and be able to experience together. So please, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. But to drink, we are rocking their Chick-fil-A Cherry Berry Lemonade, which I took a couple sips as I was waiting for my food, which I waited all of maybe 33 seconds. And man, is this really, really good. Nezdrovia, cool people. Very sweet. Not very sweet. It's sweet, but it's got a lot of tartness. It almost tastes like a marmalade, but it's mixed in with the lemonade. It's really good. Not too sweet, but very flavorful. Definitely a big fan of that. It kind of gets you. Like, you know, it activates the salivary glands and all the things. But for our feastage today, here at the Chick-fil-A's, we've got plenty of napkins, plenty of Chick-fil-A sauce, which I actually love. I can set it up here. I have more of my dashboard with which to dine upon in this position. So again, this may be a better course of events. We've got a medium waffle cut fry, because Chick-fil-A fries are absolutely glorious. Too good to pass up. And then we are rocking the Pretzel Cheddar Club Sandwich with no tomato and, ironically, no cheese, because for me, cheese and chicken just doesn't make sense to me. I don't like the flavor profile of that, but I have heard many good things from Alex regarding this sandwich, and the fact that it's actually grilled is pretty cool. And I'm also noting the gloriousness that is the leaf lettuce, which I'm very, very thankful for. It's got a pretzel style bun, which I think is awesome, very unique. I hardly ever get the opportunity to have like a sandwich or a burger or whatever that has a pretzel cheddar style bun. Pretzel cheddar has a pretzel bun, but this looks really good. It does have bacon on it. I can already tell right now that I wish the bacon was a little bit crisper. However, it's not terrible. It's not totally raw. And we're gonna drown this thing in some Chick-fil-A sauce, and we're gonna partake in it and see what this does for us. Gonna toss that paper out the way. I see that they salted, it's kind of interesting, they salted the top of the bun, which makes sense because that's how you would get like a big soft pretzel from a movie theater or a stand or something. So I kind of dig that for the concept of what it is. Let's get this Chick-fil-A sauce open and see what we can see. Typical, wonderful Chick-fil-A staff, incredibly nice. I don't like that Chick-fil-A sauce packets disintegrate when you tear them open. Just come off in one piece. Alright, so Chick-fil-A sauce, the one and only gloriousness. Let's see if we can do this without me making a mess on my jeans. It's so thick it won't come out. It's like tapping the back of the glass ketchup. Alright, we're leaving some in there for fries. Actually, you know what? No, we need to get our energy up. Ginormous waffle cut fry, dipped in the Chick-fil-A sauce of life. Mmm. 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 Man. Even though there's many companies that want to do the knockoff Chick-fil-A sauces, and many of them are very good, there's nothing like the original. Mmm. Mm-hmm. So good. So good. I love their fries. Totally flaky. Never over salted. Just salted enough. And then got that nice little exterior crunch with the interior fluff. Piece of bacon tried to escape. Dupe. That's some good bacon. That's very tasty, tasty bacon. Okay, so this is apparently a wingsuit, the lettuce, in case the sandwich wants to fly away. Let's go ahead and jump right on in, you guys. Alex, here's to you, my friend. Nizdorovia, everyone. Have you tried the new Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club sandwich? If you have, which version did you try? And what are your thoughts on it? Tell me in the comment section below, friends. Wow. Wow. That bun is so wonderful. One of my only complaints about Chick-fil-A chicken is there's times where, depending on the day that you go, and your location, of course, where it can be just a little too greasy. And that's ultimately what's made Mom and I not go to Chick-fil-A as frequently. And because of that, you know, it's definitely a treat. Admittedly, sometimes it tastes really good going in, but then you feel really bad when it sits, right? And so, to be able to know and experience, this is my first time trying a grilled option from Chick-fil-A. You guys know I'm not super big on barbecue or grilled taste. I'm getting just a little bit of that when I'm eating this. However, it's nowhere near as greasy as the fried offerings. With that, it actually still maintains a lot of moisture, which I'm really surprised. That's always the concern with like a grilled anything or a barbecued anything, is do they do it wrong and it's dry. I like really moist, tender meat. I don't want dry, barky meat. B-A-R-K. Bark. And this is a really good representation of that. It's really moist, it's really flavorful, but it has that grilled texture. It's still cooked through, it's still grilled. But this bun, man. With a little bit of bacon to give it a crunch and a variance of flavor. Really, really good. What's leaking? I think my lettuce is sweating. Yeah, it is. The good stuff. And then you get the Chick-fil-A sauce. Really good. And then both sides of the bun, so you guys can see. That is a legit pretzel bun. It's not too hard at all. It's literally like a pretzel brioche bun. I am a very, very big fan of this. Oh my goodness, Alex, thank you so very much. The more you get into the ingredients, the better it is. Getting all the different tastes and the textures. So solid. Wow. And then, of course, the tiny fry of glory. It was so funny. While I was in there, again, staff was wonderfully nice. I've been talking lately with friends of mine who were all similar in age, friends at church. And we all know the same stuff. We like the same music. You know, we talk about different eras of time. You know, how things used to be versus how they are now, that sort of deal. And I know that this happens when we get older. But I feel like it's even more so. And everything is wanting to change at a very, very, very rapid pace. And not necessarily for the better. And so, I find myself getting self-conscious at times when I make references to certain things. The benefit of it, though, is that when someone gets it, it makes for a better connection. I was in there, and when I ordered, I said, I'd love to get this as a meal. The grilled version. No cheddar, no tomato. And then the woman who was taking my order, again, incredibly nice, but she had to process what I just said, because it's the Pretzel Cheddar Club. And she goes, okay, it comes with cheese. And so she had to go in and omit the cheese. And then she had to go in and omit the tomato. It took her a minute. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm taking a minute. And I go, no, don't worry, take your time. I'm sorry, I'm of course being that guy. I'm being Meg Ryan from When Harry Met Sally. And the minute that I said that, there was this little voice in my head that said, they won't get it! And sure enough, I got 2 blank stares from the people working at the front counter. And I was like, yep, there's another gray hair. Cool. But it's a good movie. And if you know, you know. Right? So, anyway. Go ahead and get some, what did he eat in the movie? Wasn't moon bars. Shoot. I knew about them and I was on a quest for them earlier this year. We'll go do karaoke in a store together. Wink. It feels so strange to be able to look at you almost straight on, and I'm in my vehicle. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, why didn't I think of this sooner? Because I'm a creature of habit, and I got into a habit of doing things one way, and then now it's like, wait, you can change it up, it'll be cool. So, but my friends, holy cow, actually chicken. I really enjoyed that sandwich. That was a very solid sandwich, for all of the reasons that I said. A couple things I noticed about it, and this may just be my location today. Again, this is why I love when we communicate in the comment section, because it's a way and a means of being able to see, hey, is this consistent throughout the country? Is this consistent worldwide? Is it where there are locations that are better than the other? And I've had countless experiences of that from all of you amazing people where you're like, I will never set foot in this restaurant again, even though you love it, Atticus, because ours is terrible, and then vice versa. I'll go to a location for something, you know, be absolutely awful, and then you guys will tell me, well, wait, no, it does look wrong. They did it wrong. Actually, at our location, they do it this way, and it's amazing. And so it's really cool to be able to hear how things are throughout the world. And in a way, it's almost like this is how the power of the internet can be good. It'd be kind of interesting to see if there are like CEOs or management teams of food places who watch for food reviews online or wherever, so that way they can hear what consumers think of a certain product. Now, granted, there has to be a huge level of discernment when you do that, because so much on the internet is just garbage, right? But as far as this sandwich, I'm gonna rate this sandwich today a 7 out of 10. Reason for that, I chose the grilled option. That was my choosing. Grilled anything can go either way, and so there is a risk there. Today, it was really good. Still moist, cooked through though, flavorful, good texture. Wasn't mushy, wasn't dry, right? You're not eating chicken jerky or something like that. But the thing that got me was actually the lettuce. I love green leafy lettuce, but for whatever reason, this lettuce was like very, I don't know if the word is steamy, or if it's weepy, or what the exact verbiage would be. But it's definitely where it's not, it was a little bit runny, and the texture of it was a little weird, a little chewy. So I don't know if it's the type of lettuce that they're using. It was still very green, right? It wasn't brown, it wasn't old. And I love that way more than the hair shredded lettuce that these people try to get into for whatever trend reason. And so that's the only thing I would say I would downgrade on it. Oh, the other thing too was it's a club sandwich. Excuse me. And Chick-Fil-A is known for putting pickles on their sandwiches. Mine didn't have any. And I don't think it comes with them. I would have liked to have seen pickles be added to this, just because I love pickles. I love Chick-fil-A's pickles, the texture, the taste, that little bit of saltiness with that crunch, combined with the other layers. I think that would have been really, really, really good. But putting the Chick-fil-A sauce on it, definitely top tier. Chick-fil-A fries are still a solid 9 out of 10. Some of the best fries out there, period. Absolutely so good. And I really like this lemonade. This lemonade, again, you can actually see the pulp from the lemons, where they've more fresh squeezed the lemonade, right? So this is more realistic, real lemonade. It's not just Minute Maid or Tropicana from the tap, right? I really like it. Tart with a little bit of sweet. I like the flavor. I would rate that cherry berry lemonade a definite 8 out of 10. You have to be in the mood for it, I think. Because otherwise it could be too tart. It's definitely not in danger of being too sweet, but it could be too tart. So it just depends on the day. Today being, you know, warmer than it should be, a lemonade is always a really cool and refreshing treat. But my dear friends, as always, the housekeeping stuff. My friends, I have adored these last years of being able to be on Cameo with you all and make your special celebrations extra special. And I wanna give a shout out, because the reasons for being able to partake with you guys in your celebrations just simply continue to expand. And I wanna give a shout out to people who come up with unique things or reasons for getting a Cameo from me, because it goes beyond just the norm, which even the norm is so special. Birthdays, holidays, new job, anniversary, graduation, etc., right? But I've had the pleasure of being able to make videos for some of you amazing people for any reason, varying from like people wanting advice from me in different areas of their life, up to and including being able to, I just this past week got to wish a woman happy 16 years of sobriety. And the fact that you all have bestowed upon me the honor to be able to take, even if it's just this small portion of an intimate look into your life, and be able to rejoice with you, celebrate with you, and in some instances, it's even been times where I've grieved with you because of whatever reason. I really appreciate that. You're gifting me support. You're gifting me the opportunity to continue to do what I love, which is these YouTube videos as well as the Twitch live streams. But being able to do so in a way where I don't have higher ups outside of YouTube dictating to me what I can or cannot speak on and what I can or cannot do. and the way that I'm able to run my communities. And that means the world to me, because as many of you have been so kind and encouraging to me, many of you have said, it is the uniqueness of these spaces that make us want to come back. It is the emphasis on Christ, keeping him at the center of it, living in a more moral way, speaking on morals, being empathetic, etc., that keeps you guys coming back. And so I cannot thank you enough to everybody who books me on Cameo, link for which is in the description box below. If you have any reason whatsoever that you want me to be able to partake in your life, in your days, in your celebrations, it would be my absolute pleasure to do so. So please consider booking me down on Cameo. Also, please be sure, as I've mentioned, the Twitch streams, I keep having more and more of you amazing people say, you know what, I need to just go ahead and make a Twitch. I'd love to interact with you live. Or I keep getting more of you amazing people who come to the Twitch live streams and say, hey, longtime fan from YouTube, I'm so stoked to be able to see you live and interact with you. My friends, please do. You know, there is something to be said, and I'm not necessarily pointing this as a finger of blame, but there is something to be said about the fact that we live in a world today where social interaction has suffered very heavily for a wide variety of different reasons. And people don't know or don't have the confidence to talk with each other anymore. And I've had the pleasure of being able to see so many people in my Twitch community, of all ages. We're talking 16-year-olds up to 66-year-olds who have grown as people because they're able to be in a place of acceptance. They're able to be confident in speaking their mind, and not the least of which that is that they disagree with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world, like I do, and we're able to safely talk about that together, as well as be able to fellowship and laugh and have fun and either joke or pray with each other or uplift each other and make friendships. And the fact that I've been able to witness that within that community space has been so huge. And so I cannot encourage you enough. Please, if you would like to go and come hang out with us on Twitch, please do. Definitely, please be kind. Please obey the rules. The rules are there for a reason. And what's really beautiful, and this is kind of a mind-blowing thing, check this out. The rules are there for a reason. It's to keep everybody in the space safe. Okay? Me included, but everybody. The people who have a problem with the rules generally are not the people that we want there. Right? So, if you have a problem with my rules in my chat, maybe do some soul searching, right? But then otherwise, all the normal people come in and they're like, okay, essentially be kind and logical. Okay, I accept. And what do you know? Everybody gets along. It's amazing. But yeah, please be kind, obey the rules, and don't be afraid to speak up. If you show up to one of my streams and you want to say hi, please do. Even if I'm in the midst of tactical zombie slayage or puzzle piecing, right? Please don't be afraid to say hi, because I'd love the opportunity to be able to say hi to every single one of you and be able to fellowship. With that said, my dear friends, let's take a look here at the at the comment section again for some questions. I think we're just going to get time to do one today. This one was interesting because it's actually a two-part question. Okay. This comes from Colt2274 on YouTube, and it was just too much for me to copy into my notes, and so I said to myself, you know what, let me read as it's written, and I'll answer along. Hey Atticus, I have a question regarding the middle. Actually, two questions that me and my superfan family have wondered. Grammar. Number one, for the pilot episode, Frankie says she was a dentist assistant before becoming a car salesman. Why was this never addressed later in the show when she became a dental assistant again? This is a prime example of super fans who really pay attention. So Colt, to you and your family, I want to give you absolute kudos and mad respect that you caught this. And ladies and gentlemen in the chat, go back to the pilot episode. Watch it again. Does Frankie actually say this? Reason why I phrase it that way is because I never watch my show, ever. Because I will replay, as I've made mention of this before, I will replay every day of filming of every scene in my mind in Technicolor if I watch the show. I can tell you who was sick that day, who was absent that day, who was there that day, what happened that day, etc., etc. In order to not relive past trauma, I choose to not do that. And also, too, it would be feeling like living a dual life, reliving stuff I've already lived and then trying to live today. So I can't do that. So I'm not going to rewatch the show. I'll just take your word for it. But this is also evidence to show, this is why you need a team of writers who are constantly keeping track of every reference that is ever made in a show. And why it also goes to show that the longer of a run a show has, the more you need to take meticulous care in paying attention to those references. I will bet you a donut, Eileen and Deanne just plain forgot, because they were the ones who wrote the pilot, and then never recalled it to mind again for writers' meetings throughout the rest of the show. And they were just like, you know what, let's make her a dental assistant again. So, there you go. That's part one. Then, question 2. In the episode X's and O's, when all of Axel's exes come back, Cassidy says to hit her up if he's in Italy that summer. Axel goes to Italy that summer, but there's no mention of Cassidy. Was that done intentionally? I don't know. Also, you reminded me of sequences of events I forgot even happened. I forgot more about my own show than high school math. So, yeah. I can make up an answer for you if you'd like. Which would be that it was where Cassidy went to the Dutton Yellowstone Ranch and got in deep with Casey. And there was a whole, lost episode about it in Yellowstone. And then Beth tried to kill her, but didn't. And then Cassidy had to escape to Italy, but to protect Axel, she never got a hold of him. You're welcome. That's the reason. No, in all sincerity, I don't know. I just thought that'd be humorous to answer. Yeah, things happen. I remember once that there was some friend of Sue's. Carly? Did she have a friend named Carly in the show? You guys can tell me. I remember once during a table read where we had literally not seen Carly for 2 or 3 years. And then I was reading my lines for a scene, and Brick references during the table read Carly and her baby. And I stopped because it registered what I said. And I go, oh, so that's what happened. And the writer team busted up laughing. Like a real legit, that was totally impromptu and hysterical laugh, right? So, who knows? There's stuff that happens behind the scenes that I know, and I only know a portion. And it was like, oh, that makes sense why they didn't come back. So it could have been that. I thought Cassidy was one of the nice ones. I don't even remember who Cassidy is in the show, if I'm being honest with you. I don't remember any of Axel's exes. I remember Greer Grammer was one. Kelsey Grammer's awesome. I got to meet him many moons ago on a movie shoot. He was very nice. Greer was really nice to me. I don't remember who she played. Gabrielle? Gabby? I'm a professional, I swear. Hopefully this gave you a good laugh today. Anyways, cool people. Colt, thank you for that awesome question. I really hope your disappointment isn't too much. The rest of you, thank you all so much for being you. Please continue to ask your comment section questions, especially if you're okay with a comedic response like this one. A lot of times, you know, we want to get deep and philosophical about stuff, and I want to share thoughts and feelings with you. And then there's other times too where it's like, well, I'll answer truthfully. Hopefully it's enjoyable and humorous. If somebody guffawed, my job has been completed. Job well done. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Have an amazing upcoming week ahead of you. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. God bless. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life. Something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by